Throughout anime, there is always that one thing that everyone fears. For some people, it's anyone who recommends Boku no Pico or Redo of Healer as your first anime. Those people are horrible, they're not your friends, find better people. For others, it's Griffith from Berserk, the horrible atrocities he commits throughout the anime and the manga. Also the animation studio with animating, or rather CGIing the Berserk anime. Please do better, I want a good story to watch. For other people though, it's the My Hero Academia fandom, but we're not going to talk about those today, or possibly ever, because the stuff they've done wouldn't be allowed. Every individual world can agree with one thing. There is one being in anime that rivals even those of the cosmos in terms of kills. Some people might say that, you know, Zeno from Dragon Ball holds the highest kill count, or some people might say Rimuru from Slime Isekai has a higher kill count. But there's one anime character that no one ever talks about when we're on about kill count. Today, we're going to be discussing the long story of Truck-kun. A lot of people don't know when Truck-kun first appeared in anime. The most popular opinion is that he appeared in Yu Yu Hakusho back in 1992, or even further back in Princess Peach's Mother back in 1982. But he goes even further back than that. His first confirmed kill was in 1963 on Tobio Tenma to create Astro Boy. I want you to think that that's 60 years ago that Truck-kun first appeared in anime, and he's been a silent killer ever since then. So now that we know where Truck-kun came from, we need to establish some of his powers, because while most people might think he appears as a truck at all times, it's not necessarily true. Prime example of this is in Konosuba, where Kazuma ended up being isekai'd into the world of Konosuba by a tractor. But my theory with this is that that was actually just Truck-kun. The interesting thing about how Kazuma died though is he never actually got hit by the truck. His sheer embarrassment of trying to step forth and save the person from getting hit by the tractor while he was assuming it was going at top speeds made him piss himself and have a heart attack. Now some people might just say that's just a medical thing. I believe Truck-kun morphed into the tractor, went on a little assassination hit on Kazuma, and then proceeded to use some of his psychic powers when he realized he didn't have the speed in his original form as opposed to this tractor, and used those powers to make Kazuha die from embarrassment, and he forced the heart attack. Now, speaking of popular anime and manga, did you know Truck-kun had their own manga written about them? It's called Isekai Transporter, and it's a parody manga, but a manga nonetheless. We gotta give credit where credit's due. They've cemented themselves into Japanese media. So much, in fact, that Japan at one point used Truck-kun in a public service announcement about people crossing the street on their phone, where Truck-kun had made an appearance, and, well, I'll just show the clip and you can kind of piece together what's after happening here. Now, I want to make something clear before I go any further ahead. While I say Truck-kun when I'm referencing a bunch of different vehicles in anime, my reasoning behind it is that I do not believe Truck-kun is specifically a truck. I think the idea of Truck-kun is a concept within anime of a vehicle being a danger to a character or characters in their own respective universes. Hence why I say that the tractor in Konosuba is Truck-kun. Why most of the isekai deaths, even though a lot of them aren't actually from trucks, is Truck-kun. Because I believe it is a concept. I do not believe it is a one form, one individual. An example of what I mean when I say Truck-kun is not limited to a specific anime and or genre is Tokyo Revengers. Now, not a lot of people watch season 2 past season 3. I do not blame you. The animation was kind of shitty. But one of the things we can all agree with is that in the last episode of season 3, if you have watched it, when Kisaki and Takemichi are brawling it out and Kisaki ends up in the middle of the street, he then proceeds to get rammed by a white truck that looks oddly similar to Truck-kun or one of his many interpretations. This is what I mean when I say he is not limited to isekai genre. I believe he is a concept of a character getting hit by a vehicle. His most popular form just happens to be that white truck. I think that he can be interpreted as many different vehicles though. Another example, in Tokyo Revengers Season 1, I reckon the train could be argued to be Truck-kun because of the concept that Takamichi got hit by the train and then got thrown into the past. I believe that would be an example of Truck-kun. Speaking of Tokyo Revengers, do you know that's one of the rare instances in which Truck-kun has actually gotten more than one kill on a major character in an anime? The only other anime I was able to find was Zombieland Saga. In this anime, Truck-kun manages to get 2 kills in identical circumstances. I'm talking about from the way it's shot to the way everything happens and everything falls together. They are almost identical in every small detail. Now tell me that isn't fate working its magic. No, not fate as in the series, faith as in the ITH one. You know, we don't need Excalibur fucking coming up and slicing down all of Truck-kun's assets. Now, one of the more popular instances of Truck-kun appearing in anime, which you might not have realized at first, is actually in Death Note, which watch before this if it doesn't make sense because I don't want to spoil a lot. One of the instances of Light learning how to use Death Note, he is in his store and he writes in, biker gets killed by XYZ, or biker dies at this time, this day. As he's watching in from within the store, the biker goes to chase a girl across the road on his bike and proceeds to get fucking demolished by Truck-kun. Now, some people might speculate that this is because Light wrote in the Death Note the guy dies and the truck was just navigated towards him as a means of getting him there quicker. I speculate that Truck-kun already had that as an assassination target and that Light writing in the Death Note was purely coincidental that Truck-kun just so happened to already paint a target to isekai this man into a different universe. One of the more brutal instances of Truck-kun in anime is in an anime I've seen a lot of clips on. I haven't watched it myself, but it is on my list to watch. It's called Grisaya no Kaijutsu, or the Fruit of Grisaya. I'm not going to show the clip from this anime because I feel like it does hold a bit of emotional weight to it. And if you want the full value of it, you need to go watch the show. But it is a very, I would say, traumatic scene if you've ever seen or experienced anything like this in real life. And it just shows that while Truck-kun is depicted in media as a very comedic character or a comedic concept that sends people off to an isekai world in a funny way, or that has those moments like in Zombieland Saga where they just TKO the character out of nowhere, it does have some emotional moments, and I feel like this is one of the ones that really hit for a lot of the anime community. If there's any other one of those, let me know down in the comments down below. Now, one thing I want to make apparent before this video goes any further ahead is that this video is almost entirely satirical. My main point being, I think Truck-kun was a funny concept, and I like the idea that he just exists in every single anime universe. We just don't fully realize it. That may not be true in any sense of the form. I just found that idea funny and I wanted to play off it in this video. Now, going ahead with that, I do think one thing about Truck-kun though. He does not have the most anime kills. I'd say he has some of the funniest though. A lot of them being the ones I've shown in these videos. If you want any more, I'd say just look up on YouTube Truck-kun funny moments. You'll probably find a good playlist. And that is that. I really wanted to try something different with this anime style content because I've been doing them daily on my TikToks, which is over here if you want to go give me a follow. I do anime content on there daily. But I really wanted to try something new with this because Truck-kun was always a concept I really enjoyed the idea of, how a being existed in every single anime universe and just caused some of the funniest fucking moments. That's all I really want to do with this video. I know I labeled it as like an origin story, which I did kind of cover with Astro Boy and Princess Minky Mumu, but I really wanted to just highlight some of the funnier moments. Obviously, there's a handful more. This is just some of the funnier ones I can find and fit into this video without doing hundreds of hours of research, because if I did that, I would probably blow my fucking brain. Let me know what other anime moments down below have moments with Truck-kun in them, or other anime you just want me to watch, because I'm always trying to expand my catalog. I obviously have some anime that I've seen, some that I haven't seen, and some that I'm going to get around to watching. Made in Abyss is one of them, which I know a lot of people warn me about, But, you know, we're going to have to take a dive into the deep end at some point. If you like this kind of stuff, subscribe down below, give us a like, and maybe comment what your favorite moments of this was, or other cool ideas like this. And also be sure to share it around with your friends, because I'm trying to build a safe and helpful anime community around here. I might not be the most knowledgeable, but, you know, we all got to start from somewhere.